party Clayson Gleason, Chai Gallery's director. This is Michael Rothwell. Michael Rothwell is a photographer. Hi, Michael. I would like to ask you a few questions today. First of all, if you could tell me a little bit about your work and the medium you use.
Sure. Well, I do what it's called PhotoArt. I term it that. And basically I do photography, but I create really large pieces like this one. And I strive overall for it to look more like a piece of artwork, or how people perceive it as a piece of artwork versus a photograph. So this one, it's a favorite. This one you can tell it's more of a photograph, in nature. But a lot of my other pieces are more abstract. So overall, if seen from a distance, because they're bigger pieces, I like people to not know before they get up close whether it could be a photograph or actual painting of some sort.
Abstract. So you work with abstraction a lot in photography, which is
a lot of my works are abstract, and that's what draws me in.
When do you know that a particular piece is done? You take the photo, you add your little creative touch to it,
sometimes.
but when do you know when to stop?
Sometimes I don't know when to stop. Even pieces that I feel like are done. I mean, if it's not printed yet, then sometimes I keep. I only change a few of the parameters. I don't manipulate them a lot, but within those basic manipulations, or sometimes it's the actual cropping of the photo or seeing part of it, sometimes I go back to them over and over, and I see them differently, and I keep manipulating them or changing the perspective of seeing them.
Do you manipulate images in camera as well as after in post-production?
Manipulate.
By selecting special angles, maybe by zooming in, by cropping, by abstracting before actually adding any.
A lot of times, if I'm taking a photo of something, I mean, sometimes it's just a moment, there's a photo, like this is at the Tate Museum in London, the Modern Art Museum in London, and we were actually transitioning from one gallery to another. And as you can see, there's a stairwell and elevators and stuff. And when I first was just walking by, there was a young woman waiting for the elevator. So I stopped because it looked great with her there. And then I got a couple pictures with her, but then actually after she got on the elevator, then this just blank space was there, and the lost art, that's not photoshopped in or anything, that was there. And that moment just appeared.
So you had a vision.
Right. So that moment, that was just taken a couple images very quickly, but usually if I see something or whatever, I might take 100 images of it with different angles, different perspectives and so forth, and then I go back and choose the favorites and start working on those, and then sometimes I'll just take part of that photo.
Is there any particular piece in your body of work that you would say is your favorite?
Well, Shadow Beth, which is one of the ones that's here in Chai Gallery, that's definitely one of my favorites. It has an amazing quality. It does look like a painting. It is a photo. It's a photo art. It's a photograph, and it just has some acrylic applied over but it's printed on canvas.
Yes.
It has some acrylic, so.
It's truly beautiful. I love the presence, Randy's from it. So, where do you find your inspiration? Is it in the moment, in what you see? Is this, where do you find what inspires you to create?
Yeah, well, the moment, the decisive moment, in Cartier-Bresson created the decisive moment, or named the decisive moment, so that's, I think, for any photographer or photojournalist, that's always right there. That this piece was like that. But overall, I would say my biggest inspiration is just nature. I would say overall, when I say nature, we live in a city, we live in an urban landscape, but often just the urban landscape, or actually, nature itself being in a more rural environment or more natural environment. So it's a combination of, it's usually, sometimes I go out and I'm trying to capture something specifically, but a lot of times it's the way the light's hitting something or the way I'm seeing something.
The connection to nature is very important in your work, as you say. I've noticed that sometimes you try to capture something that is not a natural element initially, not organic, but then you transform it in a way that becomes a natural, beautiful, organic shape or emotion. So that's definitely where your work is going. Would you say this is what you're interested in exploring further, that connection to nature?
Sure. I think, it's endless, it's boundless. It's always been the artist's playground in a way, and it inspires all of us as human beings, I think, just our world around us. But yeah, I find it, we have a number of pieces here, and we've had some others going in and out, and you can see that with some of the pictures like I have with flowers and other natural things like that.
Corals.
Coral, yeah, you may not even realize what you're looking at, but that's.
So, what do you think art in general, where do you think art in general in society is going next?
Where it's going? That's a tough one. I think that, art is becoming more democratized or whatever, in the sense that more and more people, at least especially in the medium that I'm an artist in, with photography and so forth. But I think overall that in any art form that there's the ability for more and more people to create art. Now, whether they do it for a living or they just do it for some personal satisfaction of expression, or to share with their friends and family, or something like that.
In your particular medium of photography, would you say that technology is important nowadays into ensuring more people have access to actually creating the art?
Yeah, well, technology definitely plays a part in it. I think that it's one thing's for sure, with everyone having a camera, anyone can take more photographs. So that's, technology has opened that up tremendously. Now, creating artwork from that, I think the more people that take photographs, then the more people that might be interested in creating more artistic photographs, and we're doing something with those photographs, more in line with what I'm doing and creating artwork out of it.
Something that we find nowadays is that photography goes backwards as well. It goes both ways. Basically, it goes further, along the technology kind of advances, but also backwards and going back to Polaroid cameras. All the effects of the past ages of photography. Really, what do you think about that? What's your take on
Oh,
this?
I love that. I have a collection of old cameras myself. I was just watching, I can't remember the photographer's name right now, but I believe he was British, but he's using a really old plate camera and taking photographs. And there's all type of people doing things like that. And I'm very fascinated. I love old cameras, and I like when you do old cameras and old processes, it forces you to work differently, usually more slowly, but it's the same thing. You also see your subject differently, which creates you a different process and ultimately, different work.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you.